In this demonstration, I will provision an Azure database for my SQL resource in my Azure subscription. So in order to accomplish this, I will go to the search box and I will search for my SQL. Then I will select Azure database for my SQL server. Then I will click the create button so that I can create a new instance of Azure database for my SQL server. Then in the deployment options, I will make sure that I'm under the flexible server. Then I will click the advanced create button. Now I need to supply necessary information so that I can now create an instance of this my SQL server. So for the subscription, I'm going to leave it this way. For the resource group, I'm going to click create new, then I will name it RG1. So RG1 is going to be the name of the resource group. Then I will come to the server details. Under the server details, I'm going to enter required settings for this server, including locations and configuring compute and storage resources. For the server name, it will be Delany MySQL server. So it's going to check if it's unique. Then for the region, I'm going to use Central US. Yes, Central US. Then for the MySQL version, I will leave it 8.0. And for the workload type, I'm going to leave it this way for development or hobby project. And for the compute plus storage, it's going to be 1V core, 2 GB of RAM, and 20 GB of storage. So I will leave these default settings. And under the availability zone, I'm also not going to select anything. Then on the high availability, I'm going to leave it this way. I'm not going to configure availability at this point. Then I'll move to the authentication section. So I'm going to leave it this way. That is to say, I want to use my SQL authentication only under the authentication method. And for the administrator login, I'm going to use SQL admin. And for the password, to be this. I will click next networking, and under the network connectivity, I'm going to leave it this way. That is going to be a public access. And because this is selected, I can now move to the public access where I will click the add current IP address. And what I will now do is to click review plus create, and I will click create. Now is initializing the deployment, and now is submitting the deployment. So at this point, I'm going to pause this video and I'll be back once the deployment is complete. Now the deployment is completed. Now I'm back here under the Azure database for my SQL servers, and you can notice now that this is the MySQL. So this is the MySQL, this is my server name, and what is this saying? The status is what is available. And where is it deployed to? RG1. And which location? Central US. So I'll click the link. So through the overview now, you can see that the MySQL server is ready. Here is the server name. Here is the administrator login. And this is the configuration. This is a version of the MySQL. and also this is the location. So the next thing now is to connect. So I'm going to look for my SQL workbench. So I'm going to use my SQL workbench to connect. So what you need to do is to go to Google and search for MySQL workbench. Then you download the MySQL workbench. And it can also be part of the MySQL installation. So if you have done full installation of MySQL 8.0 or higher one, you can still use the same workbench. So you don't need to go and download a new one. So the workbench is a client application that allows you to connect to MySQL server, either locally installed or virtually. So in this case, I'm going to use it to connect to the one that I provision in my Azure account. So I'm going to click on the SQL workbench. Now I'm on my SQL workbench, so I'll come to my SQL connection and I'll click this cross button. Then I'm going to give it a name. So I'll call it Delany MySQL. Then for the connection method, I'm going to leave it this way. Now the host name. So what is the host name? That is the server name. So I'm going to click the copy to clipboard. Then I'll go back and I'll put the URL here. So as you can see, that is what Delany MySQL server dot mysql.database.azure .com. So for the username, I'll come back here and I will click the this button again, copy to clipboard. Then I will replace it with this, which is the root. Then for the password, I'm going to type the password. Then I will click OK. Now I'll click this button, test connection. Look at it. A successful MySQL connection was made with the parameters defined for this connection. So it simply shows that the connection is successful. So I will now click the OK button here. Now I have this, then I will click on this. So it's trying to establish the connection right now. So it's asking me to stand by. So I have successfully connected to the MySQL using what? MySQL Workbench. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing to this channel. Please, let me know what you think in the comment section. And do not forget to leave a like and share this video. See you in the next one.